So Mark Anthony Rogowski was born on August 10th, 1966. We're almost birthday buddies, but thank God we're not. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, but moved to Escondido, California at the age of 3 after his parents divorced, and he's really very much a California kid. Escondido is in San Diego County, which means whale's vagina. So think...
Is that true? County means whale's vagina.
San Diego.
Sandy ego.
So Southern California, beach scene, whatever. All of Southern California is one place to me in my brain.
Yeah.
But apparently this is different than LA.
Fish tacos.
San Diego and LA are very different places.
Geographically,
Who
or
knew?
Yes, and
Okay.
I'm sending you guys so many cute clothes.
Okay. Very beachy, okay?
Okay.
Got it.
So in Escondido at that time, preteens kind of went one of two routes. So either skateboarding or surfing. And most of Mark's friends turned to surfing, but he went the skateboarding route. And he hung out in a lot of local skate parks and was kind of picking it up at the age of 10, 11, 12. And then in 1978, as a 12-year-old, Rogowski was asked to join a skate team and
Mike Rogowski!
compete.
Yes.
We're cruising through it. I got a lot to cover. So just 2 years later, at age 14, Rogowski started to skateboard professionally, and he was a bit of a prodigy. Are you still sending clogs?
Yes, she is.
You have mischievous face.
What's a clog? This last one doesn't look like a clog.
These are all clogs.
All right,
Open-toed.
pause.
What makes it a clog?
It's the way that it's made. It's the heel. It's the materials.
I've heard of this
the
company,
shape.
Lotta from Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my phone is blowing up. So many clogs.
So many clogs. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. So he's skateboarding professionally now. All right.
Okay.
He's 14. He's a bit of a prodigy. He won his first major contest, the Canadian Amateur Am Skateboarding Championships in 1982.
Such an am.
And he was featured on the cover of Thrasher magazine in 84 and Trans World Skateboarding in 85, which is not what it sounds like today.
No.
He would go on to receive endorsement deals from Gullwing Trucks and GNS, Gordon and Smith, which is a company. Gordon Ramsay Smith. A company that makes boards for both surfing and skateboarding. And today, yesterday when I wrote this, I learned that trucks are not actually trucks that you drive.
No.
They are the T-shaped part under the skateboard that the wheels are connected to, and there is a diagram on the drive.
Correct.
I think you just explained it pretty succinctly. I don't know that we need a diagram.
There aren't that many parts to a skateboard.
Let her have this. She loves a map.
I do love a map, and I didn't include any map, so I had to include a diagram, one or the other.
And what is a diagram if not a map of an item?
Right?
Don't encourage her.
Okay. So Mark was also somewhat of a pioneer when it came to skateboarding endorsement deals. He was the first skateboarder to receive his own pro deck by Vision Sports, which is another fucking skateboarding company. And the deck is the wooden board that you stand on. Think Tech Deck.
Think Tech Deck. Tech Decks are the dumbest fucking things.
Oh, we'll
love
get
them.
to it.
I saved mine. I still have my Tech Deck.
Wow, this explains so much.
It's so fun.
What do you do with it?
We'll get
Little
to
hops and spins and twirls and clicks.
Can we let me have my segment?
It's very ASMR. Okay. So this lucrative
Do
deal...
I even exist?
Yes, we're ignoring you. This lucrative deal kicked off a trend of other skateboarders like Mark Gonzalez and Tom Grolski making their own signature decks. My deck is cooler than your deck.
My deck's bigger than yours.
Okay.
At the height of his fame, Rogowski was being paid between $4,000 and $8,000 a month, mostly from endorsements.
Dang.
And he was also earning about $2 per skateboard sold by Vision Sports. And they sold about, per skateboard that were, his brand or whatever, with his likeness, I guess. And they sold about 7,000 of these a month in 1987. So his monthly royalties just from that deal came close to $14,000 per month in 87.
Wow.
So he's making a shit ton of money.
Yeah. That's good cheddar.
So Rogowski was in league with famous skateboarders like Tony Hawk. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Also, Christian Hosoi, no idea. Lance Mountain, sounds like a porn star, and Steve Caballero. I think he's the patron. So I don't know any of these people, but Wikipedia knows them. So apparently there's someone. Mark was especially known for his skill at vert skateboarding. Vertical. So using ramps to move from horizontal tricks to vertical tricks, like in swimming pools. And this style got to start as pool riding and trespassing and the whole subculture, and made it cool in California and whatever. Okay. In the late 1980s, Rogowski's star continued to rise, and he went on tour with other famous pro skaters as part of the Swatch Impact Tour.
Wow. Swatches were so fucking big.
Swatches
So
were
in.
huge.
There's still a Swatch store at the Mall of America.
They're back.
It's cute as shit.
There was a full Swatch store in the fancy mall in Joburg.
I feel like I
where we
wish
lived.
I could combine a smart. I want Swatch to make a smartwatch. Then I feel like I'd
Swatch.
wear it. A Swatch.
Does Swatch make just the straps that you can attach?
Yeah, but
to
the
it?
face is also cute on a Swatch.
I never liked a Swatch. It's not
Wow.
my aesthetic.
I'm not a watch gal or a Swatch
Oh,
gal.
but tech decks are.
Love a tech deck.
The fact that you specifically are
Pro
were
tech
into
deck?
tech decks is mystifying.
It's shocking.
I had one and I could do some basic shit with it, and it was just really satisfying. I love a fidget. I like to.
it's like a fidget spinner.
I'm a
but
fidgeter.
Horrible.
I had ADHD and didn't know it.
Tech decks remind me of Start Class and Blessy Blunkermeyer.
Totally.
Yep. Okay. So he's also starting to gain mainstream fame, and he doesn't star, but he's in skateboarding, doing tricks and whatever in the music video Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. Because I'm free. That one.
We sang that to you
Know
the
it.
day that I went rock wall climbing with your Girl Scout class at REI. Do you remember that?
What?
And that song was playing while you were struggling up the wall. And we all started singing it to you, and you started crying.
I cried? I don't remember that at all.
Your mom got mad at us.
Blocked that out.
I can't with you people.
All right. Well, so the music video is painful to watch. I rewatched it yesterday. Oh my God. Rogowski was also a stunt double in the movie Gleaming the Cube, starring Christian Slater. Have you guys heard of it?
No, but Amanda is still sending clogs.
Enough
links.
with the clogs.
Oh my God.
Focus.
It's 25 links.
I'm listening.
Oh, I like these.
Oh.
Right?
The last pair?
Torpendorfs.
They're all really cute
The
because
tor-
I'm really
the
good at this.
Torps and
Tro and
Torps
Torps are amazing. I have 3 pairs of those.
Troentorps? Jesus. Okay.
Mhm.
Are they slippery?
No.
Can I skateboard in them? Can I vert in them?
Can I skateboard in them? I'm getting you a skateboard for your birthday.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so Gleaming
Oh my
the
God.
Cube, the movie. All of our listeners who are Gen X and older will know this movie. We were too young because it came out in 89, I think.
Hear that, Gen X? You're old. Hear that, my sister?
Glass houses. Glass
I
houses.
wonder if Ashley knows it. So, okay, the movie. This is the blurb about it. A California skateboarder, Christian Slater,
Already hate
who's
it.
like 15 in this movie. He is so young, and he's just exactly who he is through the rest of his career. He just is like down pat Christian Slater.
He set the stage real early.
A California skateboarder, Christian Slater, solves and avenges the death of his adopted Vietnamese brother.
Wow. Okay.
And
It's
there's
like Karate Kid,
Yeah,
but skateboarding.
a lot of skateboarding. So the phrase gleaming the cube apparently means pushing yourself to outside of your limits. And apparently in the movie, Christian Slater skateboards under like a bunch of trucks, actual trucks, driving trucks.
He gleams his cube.
He gleams the cube. There's like a high-speed chase.
Sure.
Is the
Limits were
cube
pushed.
unique to each individual?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know the origin. I was thinking Rubik's Cube, but that's probably not right.
Probably not. No.
To glean
Gleam.
one.
Oh, so you're allowed to Google things, but I can't spend this entire time sending you all really, really nice, generous clog links.
I
see the imbalance here.
You're really
Clogs are
clogging up the chat.
Yeah, the clogs are like $300. Some of us can't afford all these clogs.
I didn't say to get all of them. You could pick like a tight 5.
A type 5. You can spend $900 on clogs.
God. Okay.
Right.
What does it mean, gleaming the cube? What is it?
It just says it originated with the movie, and it doesn't really give any other insight.
So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to watch it. Okay. So throughout the 1980s, Mark Rogowski is riding really high. He's talented, famous, rich, young. But then things start to slide downhill bit by bit. First, vert skating became less and less popular in favor of street skating because, like, I guess not.
Probably more accessible to
yeah,
just
not everyone has access to
skate on the street.
Also, that was with
An empty pool.
It was with the rise of the VHS tapes because vert
People were
skating
doing more,
isn't
like,
really.
videos.
It's not that interesting. So all the videography and that's all street skating.
Yeah, I'm sure vert skating is like super fun for the person doing it, but in terms of like watching
it, not that exciting.
right. Second, Vision Sports, the company that supported him for most of his career and that he had that board deal with, filed for bankruptcy, and this actually had a really big negative impact on Mark's popularity because he was so linked to this one particular company. And then when it went bankrupt, like the shine came off him a little bit. So in a bizarre attempt to reinvent himself, Mark Rogowski changed his name to Gator Mark Anthony.
Okay.
Saying that Rogowski, quote, was the name of the father he never knew. So he dropped his like,
All right, that's fair.
fine, I'm still gonna, he's got a lot of names in this, so I will refer to him as
Gator.
Mark and Gator and Rogowski throughout.
Oh, Mike Rogowski.
Yeah.
Gator Rogowski.
Gator Rogowski.
Gator, Jesus Christ.
I can't with Gator.
So then, well, on a trip to West Germany, Gator fell out of a window and landed on a fucking fence.
Can you imagine seeing an alligator fall out of a window and land on a fence? That would be shocking.
They're supposed to be good at twisting.
Oh, like cats?
Maybe.
He was allegedly partying and was high at the time and had convinced himself that he could fly and actually jumped out of said window.
Convince
Been
yourself
there.
you can do a backflip.
Yeah. One perfect cartwheel.
So then when he landed on the fence, he impaled his neck, hand, and thumb.
And lived?
Hand and thumb, like palm and thumb.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He impaled his neck?
Yep. On a fence.
What? No, that's some omen
A
shit.
German fence, probably very spiky.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. It caused serious fucking injuries.
Yeah.
So
You fenced yourself in the neck.
he could have died.
No offense, but you're an idiot.
Maybe
No
he should have died.
offense, but you fenced your neck.
He probably should have died. Okay.
Ugh.
He immediately returned to Southern California to recover. I don't know if he was, I don't think he was medevaced to Southern California, but he
Checked himself into a wellness resort.
yeah, he called an ambulance to the EP mall. He made it back. Okay.
Blob is fine. R.I.P. Blob.
Probably, maybe.
Who knows?
Unconfirmed.
So when Rogowski returns home, he befriends Augie Constantino, who is an
Okay.
ex-surfer turned strict evangelical born-again Christian.
Tell me you're impressionable without telling me you're impressionable.
Just wait. So I looked up Augie Constantino. He is still around. He has an Instagram. He is a virulently racist, anti-Semitic, anti-vax
Cool.
piece of shit. Still surfing.
Great.
Got
It just goes to show you that there can be essentially
Shits in every
Nazi
industry.
surfers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Christian Nazi surfers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's this guy. Okay.
Okay.
And Rogowski is vulnerable because he had this rising star, he had everything, and now everything's kind of going wrong for him, and now he can't do the one thing that he loves in his sport, and he's physically injured and just recovering and just kind of hanging around in
he
Southern
couldn't fly.
California. Yeah. So this friendship would prove to be profoundly influential to Rogowski. Whether or not Constantino is to blame for what Gator would become is still up for debate. But from this
Probably didn't help.
point on, Rogowski would never be the same.
Cool. You mean your Nazi friend wasn't a great influence on you? Ugh.
So I don't know if at the time,
Yeah, he might have
I think
gotten
he got,
extremist.
he was extremely evangelical, born again Christian at this time. I don't know if he had all the racism at the time, but he certainly has it now.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So similarly to Mark, Constantino was a kind of an ex-surfer who, after a night of heavy drinking in Hawaii, had gotten into a serious car crash. He was playing a game of fucking chicken
Cool.
In a vehicle?
in a vehicle, drunk in Hawaii,
Yeah,
and crashed
great.
and was super injured.
Great.
So he'd suffered major injuries to his legs in the wreck, but he survived, and he attributed his survival to God
Of course.
and saw the accident as a sign to devote his life to Christ.
The reality was you were drunk and it let you be limp and floppy, which is why so many drunk drivers
Survive, and their
survive.
victims don't.
Because they're relaxed and they're not really tense right at the point of impact.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you lived, dude, because you were hammered enough to not clench your body and make yourself vulnerable to more injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was, bud.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't Christ, and Christ
Fuck
certainly didn't
you.
want you to become a fucking racist anti-Semite, but whatever.
Yeah. Probs not.
Yeah, his Christianity doesn't help a lot of people, and we're about to get to it. So Rogowski had actually met Constantino before he went on that trip to West Germany, but they were only kind of acquaintances before that. And then when he gets back and he's doing physical rehabilitation, they're spending a lot more time together, a ton of time together. So Constantino was actively trying to convert Mark to become born again.
Mm-hmm.
He would talk to him a lot about God being our one true father, and intentionally used a lot of paternalistic
Uses
language.
daddy issues.
1,000%.
Fucking
Yeah.
manipulative piece of shit.
He used all of that kind of daddy imagery that he knew appealed to Rogowski because Rogowski had been, quote unquote, abandoned by his father at a young age. His parents divorced, but yeah.
Right.
So, talk to me when you've never met your father,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
Let's out trauma each other. Trauma.
Trauma.
Oh my God, I didn't even tell you. I got a second chance to do that
You did?
organically.
In a pool?
Last weekend. Not in a pool,
Boo.
in a garden.
In a garden.
Peeking over a wall.
Drama.
Trauma.
Through the bushes. Trauma.
Drama.
It was amazing.
My God.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Oh,
you
no.
might think that this 180 from like rock star alt hero skateboarder to evangelical zealot would be really surprising to Mark's friends and loved ones. But actually, people weren't shocked by Rogowski's newfound obsession with religion.
Great.
Perry
That's a good sign.
Perry Gladstone, who was the owner of a skateboarding shop called Fish Lips.
Ooh.
Nope. I'm good. Thanks. Bye.
Baby fish mouth.
Yeah.
No, baby fish. I just watched that recently.
Zach and I say baby fish mouth to each other probably daily.
I love that.
So good.
Oh my God.
Baby fish.
So this is this guy that
But
knew
baby
him
fish
at the
mouth
time.
is sweeping the nation.
Quote, yeah, he was a fanatic, but that's just it. He was fanatic about everything.
Okay.
So he just-
So that makes it fine.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So one of the biggest areas of Mark's life that was impacted by his new religious zeal was his romantic relationship.
Uh-oh.
Great.
Rogowski had met Brandy McLean when he was just 21, and she was also really young. I think she was slightly younger than him, but like late teens, early 20s. They came from different backgrounds. Brandy was actually from an affluent family on the East Coast, but she'd gotten connected to the skateboarding world and with her close friend, Jessica Bergston. A lot more on Jessica later. They'd attended this skate tour in Arizona that Mark was competing at. Okay, so that's how they meet.
Okay.
Also, like, Brandy and Jessica are both like young, beautiful, very like California, like that aesthetic, you know, girls.
Sure.
Brandy and Mark hit it off right away, or very early in their courtship. She would like fly from New York to LA to visit him all the time, and she had the money to do that. But they get serious in their relationship very early on, and she moves out there full time, and they move in together. They were big partiers, as we
Oh,
probably know from the fence incident.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of drinking and drugs, mostly weed, also lots of cocaine, and lots of sex because they're like, 22 and
Right.
in love.
And
Right.
on amphetamines.
Yeah, and doing a lot
Love
of
that.
cocaine. But even with their hectic lifestyle for years, they were inseparable. And like Brandy was even like briefly alongside Mark in the Free Fallin' video. She's one of the like hype girls on the vert ramp.
God.
It's
Ick.
painful to watch. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Tom Petty just like pops up in it all the time.
Jump scare.
It's like you're looking at these like beautiful like 20-year-old like tan California kids, and then just like Tom Petty, just like
He's always been
Jesus.
70.
No.
yeah, he looks exactly the same now.
Oh.
It's really jarring, and just every 20 seconds, Tom Petty. Okay.
Yikes.
So, they move in together. Eventually, though, quote, Gator bought a ranch in the mountains near Tony Hawk's new ranch, which he'd equipped with a whole series of wooden skating ramps. But Brandy became bored with the ranch because, like, I don't think she skateboards, and she wants to, like, party and be in San Diego and not, like, in the middle of nowhere.
And like watching your boyfriend play video games is not that fucking fun.
There aren't even
not.
video games back then, so just watching your boyfriend skate.
That's what
all
I'm saying.
the time.
It's the equivalent.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, can we not?
Yeah.
Can we get back to the city? Thank you. So the cracks are beginning to form already, but when Rogowski went through his faith conversion, Brandy was decidedly not into it.
Not here for it.
No. At one point, he tried to persuade her to come with him to Calvary. I can never say that.
Cavalry.
Calvary or cavalry?
Calvary.
Calvary.
Calvary Church, where Augie Constantino worked but she wasn't interested. So like Mark's trying to like convert her, and she's like,
Nah.
dude, fucking, what the fuck is this?
It's okay. I'm good.
Imagine dating someone who then becomes a born again Christian while you're dating.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd rather not imagine that. Thanks for playing, though.
So then Mark
Hobie, no.
Hobie.
No Hobie.
So then Mark tells her that they should stop having sex because they're not married.
Oh. Okay.
And her reaction is everything.
Mm.
Quote, "We literally had sex 5 times a day. We were so in love. Then he met Augie and started saying, we can't have sex anymore unless we get married." And I'm like, wait a minute. We've been going out for 4 years.
Yeah. Why now?
Having mad sex for 4 years. And we can't have sex anymore? I can't deal with this. Later.
Bye-bye. Good for her.
Later,
Skater. Gator.
Fucking no.
Later,
Gator,
Gator,
skater.
Later, Gator skate. Yeah, she's out.
Yeah, bye-bye.
So in 1991, they break up, and that should be the end of the story, but of fucking course.
It never is.
It's not, because fucking patriarchy. So post-breakup, Brandy starts dating someone that she is surfing with, and Gator can't fucking handle it. He loses his damn mind. Not that he hasn't already, clearly, but...
Sure.
So he starts to leave threatening messages on Brandy's mother's answering machine.
Okay.
Because I think she moved out, so now I think she's like sort of living at home, and there aren't cell phones.
Yeah.
Whatever. Quote, "He was calling me up, leaving all these freaky messages. He'd growl. 'You bitch, you cunt, you're gonna fry in hell from your toes.' Weird shit like that."
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay.
So then Rogowski breaks into Brandy's house, ostensibly to take back all the things that he'd given her during their relationship.
Yikes.
Which he
Very
didn't.
Christ-like.
Yeah, totally. That's what Jesus would want. He did take all those things, but I think it was also like a power move to like show that he could get into her space.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know? At one point, trying to diffuse the situation, Brandy agrees to let Rogowski take her out to dinner in an effort to, quote, make amends. So she's like, dude, like, you've been acting crazy, whatever. And he's like, I'm sorry. Like, let me, like, show you I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And she agrees because, like, they were inseparable. They were in love. They dated for 4 years.
She trusted him. She's like, you're just going through something weird. We're going to figure this out.
Right.
Is kind of
she
probably
wanted
where
to still
her
be
head's
friends or at least not, like, enemies.
at. Right.
Yeah, she wanted him to just not be insane.
That is way too much to ask of a man, though.
Yeah.
That's on her.
So they start fighting pretty much the moment he picks her up to go to this make amends dinner. And he's yelling at her, and Brandy remembers thinking, quote, his voice got all deep, and, you know, he sounded like the devil. He says, you know what? I should take you out to the desert right now. I should drive you out right in the middle of the night and beat the shit out of you and leave you there. And I would get away with it because everybody would know that you deserved it.
Oh, God, that's gross.
End quote.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't think they went to dinner.
Not great.
Probably
I think she
didn't
got the
make it.
fuck out of there. She is now justifiably terrified.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? This is like way too fucking heavy for me. Like, I got to get out of here. And he has a lot more power than she does because, like, he has money and fame and, like, connections in the skateboarding world. And she moved out there to be with him. And now he's gone completely off his rocker and is threatening her. And she's like, fuck this. So she takes off back to New York to be
Anywhere
like, feel
else.
safe and, like, be around what she knows. But she leaves California in such a rush, and she's so upset that she didn't tell that many people that she was going or why she was going. Because it's not like there's social media back then. She would have had to like individually call people's landlines to be like, my ex has gone insane. I'm going to New York today. Like, you wouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
You just go. And that's what she did. So one person who didn't know about any of the threats, knew about the breakup, but not the threats.
Sure. Yeah.
Was Brandy's best friend, aspiring model Jessica Bergston.
Why didn't she tell her best friend?
Well, she probably was going to when she got back to New York and got situated.
Oh,
Right.
was Jessica in New York?
Jessica was in Arizona.
Okay.
So Jessica, I'll get to it in this next sentence. So remember that Jessica had known Mark Rogowski for as long as Brandy had known him. They'd met all at the same time at that skate competition 4 years ago. Or even more, almost 5 years ago at this point. And Jessica had been living in Tucson. She has no idea that her friend is essentially hiding from Mark at this point. All she knows is that, like, they broke up. But
Yeah. They're not doing well.
yeah. But it's, you know, whatever. Like, you can still be friends with your friend's
course.
ex if there's not, like, all this extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
So when Jessica moves to San Diego for work, kind of on a whim, because she's modeling, so she like gets a gig basically and decides to move to San Diego. She can't get a hold of Brandy, so she calls up Mark to hang out because he's like the only other person she knows that lives there. And Jessica had absolutely no idea what she was walking into. Because how could she?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So Rogowski would later say that everything he hated about Brandy, he also saw in Jessica.
Oh, good. So he hates the girlfriend and the best friend.
Oh, no.
He hates women is what it
He
is.
hates women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wham.
Tight.
So they were both tall, blonde, hot blonde.
Oh, my God. I recently re-listened to that episode, and she holds up.
Yeah. What number was it?
It's Catfishing Crimes.
Yeah.
It's really early.
Yeah.
It's like within the first 20-something episodes.
So good.
God, that's so long ago.
You know, she's free-spirited. She's like 22 years old and a model and, you know, whatever. Too free-spirited for Jesus, apparently. So she has no fucking clue. She just calls up Mark because he's like the one person she knows there. They decide to meet up and go to an Italian restaurant for lunch. They have a normal lunch. Then they rent some movies and get some wine, and they head back to his apartment to hang out.
Getting a little cozy with your best friend's ex-man, but okay. We're going to let it go because she's a victim.
So up until this point, Mark had acted completely normal.
Could have been totally his idea, too. And she's like, I don't know. I don't have any other friends here.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can see how contextually that would be fine.
just a hangout,
Yeah.
you know?
Just Scandival is really leaving me very fragile.
Vulnerable.
These days. So I can't trust it.
Well, it's about to get horrific.
Great.
So here we go.
Do with that what you will.
So he'd been acting completely normal at this lunch, offered to like continue the hang. Earlier that day, he'd shot a TV commercial. So like his career is turning back around. Everything seems to be on the up. But then, and we will likely never truly know what or why, something in him snapped.
Well, I sure hope you liked that clip. If you did like that clip, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us a nice review, and joining us on Patreon for even more video content, audio content, salacious content all around. Come join us. Treat yourself.